We are live.
Oh,
Um, I'm Devin,
Damn.
Beck.
and we are continuing the disaster movie month with, um, I guess, a disaster movie. I honestly, I mean, it's called disaster movie, uh, but I think the only disaster that I saw was the film itself. I didn't really see like a disaster in the movie
There's like seven.
outside of outside of the tornado.
There's tornadoes, meteors, earthquakes, cows.
I guess there's the but they're all like like all those other ones. The tornado scene was like a minute and a half, 2 minutes long. I guess more like 3 or 4 because they were doing like all the superhero stuff. But the other ones are like there's a meteor coming, and then that was
The
it.
earthquakes happened a lot. Thank you very much.
It can
Yeah,
technically be
I
called disaster movie, but it's not the focus.
yeah.
The disaster is what's driving the
I
plot.
Was there a focus? I didn't think there was a focus for this movie.
Getting as many
Getting
like
as many
references in.
Yeah.
It's yeah, basically.
I mean, that's how these things are relevant.
Um,
They just made a shit ton of references to everything. There's something for everyone.
Yeah, so I was telling Sam in the car because we watched this together just like a couple hours ago, and I was like, I'm trying so hard to rack my brain for things to talk about when it comes to this movie, but I'm struggling. I'm like at a loss for words. And I know you were saying last week that I was probably going to end up being I was gonna start the podcast with a sigh.
Dude,
And I think that's about where I'm at.
I was so excited for this movie because I remember our like movie store in Marietta was closing down, and things were like buy 10 movies for $10, and I would just go through there like just clearing the shelves essentially for movies, and I got on a kick when I mean. I wasn't even 10 years old with like these parody movies, probably. And so I was just watching them all the time. Like, I didn't get half the shit that was going on. It was funny because they cussed. But I owned all of these on DVD. And I just remember like snippets. And there's one scene I remember like the most. And it's the one with the chipmunks. And
Oh yeah.
that really defined who I am as a person to this day, like music and everything.
Calvin and the Chipmunks, that's what defines you?
That scene from this movie in particular.
Oh my god.
And I just was like thinking back, I'm like, this is so shit. It's not funny now, and I don't think it ever was, but I enjoy it for not even a nostalgia factor, simply just like, oh my fucking god.
Well, I went into this knowing that this was going to be a really bad, stupid movie.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to just accept it.
You have to. You just gotta let it happen.
And so when he started like running through, it was like I was a parody of 10,000 BC. Which, by the way, what an odd choice for a disaster movie to not make fun of a single actual disaster movie.
Twister.
I guess Twister. But outside of that, it's like it was all just random references. But when he's like running through the jungle, and then he runs into Amy Winehouse and shit, I'm like,
Skip
then when
over
she
Wolf.
burped,
I was gonna say, you're gonna
the
ignore
American
Wolf.
Gladiator. Yeah, okay. The wolf was pretty. I feel like there was something that happened before
He
that
got stomped
too.
by a mammoth into literal
right.
shit, and he's just like, oh shit.
Yeah, okay. I chuckled at that. And
I'm
then
surprised
the
you chuckled at that. Honestly.
the wolf. Well, I was like, okay, let's see what this movie's got. So I was like, that was like the freebie. I guess they used their freebie up really fast. But then Wolf happened, and that was. I got a couple chuckles out of that. And then the Amy Winehouse thing, I was like kind of cringing because honestly, there's a really good A24 documentary on Amy Winehouse that talks about like her whole upbringing and then her music career, and the way that like her I think it was her dad and then her agent were like kind of in a tug of war battle, both like fighting over her as like an asset, and neither of them were like paying attention to her well-being. And it's just like really interesting documentary that really makes you like feel like bad for her, and like, and so it's hard now to see like shit that makes fun of her, because it's like you know a bit more about the situation at this point. Like back then she was still alive, and it was like she was just a fucking target for people to make fun of in the media. Now that she's gone and people have a little more perspective, so stuff like that's hard to see. But then when she started burping, and it lasted for like a solid minute and a half, and his braids just keep going back, I couldn't help but laugh.
Dude, I was watching that. I was like, you can tell this came out in like 2008. It was just such a fucking like. It's literally like part jokes, but it gets me every time.
Well, I was telling Sam when we were watching, it's like Scary Movie was hilarious. Yeah. And even going back, Airplane, I think, was like the first one to do it. And then you had like The Naked Gun and stuff like that. And those were all like really funny. And then you got into Scary Movie with the Wayans brothers, and those were really good. Well, at least the first two. And then the third one isn't terrible. That's like when you really start to see the decline in these movies, though. And then, if I'm not mistaken, I think the Wayans brothers left after the third or fourth movie.
Yeah.
And then that whole like blank movie franchise, that blank movie franchise where they would just like lampoon a movie, like that franchise continued. But it was just a steady decline where it went from like, okay, we have this property where we're going to make fun of scary movies and we're going to reference a fuck ton of scary movies like horror films and make fun of them, to the third Scary Movie. They're literally making fun of like 8 Mile, which I always thought was a little weird, but it kind of works for the movie. But at the same time, it's like that's when they really started to kind of like go, let's just reference the most popular stuff. And then it just got worse and worse. The only one in that I can remember that I think stayed pretty on target was Superhero Movie with Drake Bell. If I remember right, that one I think pretty much focused on referencing superhero movies.
Yeah.
But that's just because there's so many to reference.
Oh, it didn't stray really at all. Again, I own that too. I've seen it so many times.
Yeah, and that's so, I mean, but for the most part, outside of that, like that whole era after Scary Movie 3, it was just a downhill slide for all of those movies. And it's a shame because Scary Movie is so fucking funny. Like when the girl is like running away from Ghostface Killer at the beginning of the movie. Yeah, it's Carmen Electra.
Like, all of them.
And she runs up to that table, and it's like a gun or a banana. And she grabs the banana.
I think there's a gun, a knife, a grenade, and a banana.
Yeah, and she grabs the banana, and then she keeps running, and then it's like a sign that says safety or danger, and she turns to danger, and like...
Yeah, the sign was a trick.
But it's like those are funny moments, whereas the funny moments in this movie were few and far between. I got kind of a kick out of the Anton Churgin from fucking No Country for Old Men showing up at the party.
Dude,
and then I also I like that Juno was like a fucking main character for a little bit. Because I love both those movies. And this was I think the most interesting part of the movie was for me is I figured out a number of movies Sam has not seen. Like Juno, No Country for Old Men, Wanted.
Yeah, Wanted, I never saw that one.
You haven't seen
but
Wanted?
I got the reference every time.
Dude, we have to watch Wanted for the podcast because Wanted is actually a fucking awesome.
It's got James McAvoy in it, right?
James McAvoy, Angelina Jolie, Morgan Freeman.
I need to watch Jumper
Yeah.
too with
Chris Pratt.
Christian Haydenson.
Jumper's really good.
Jumper, I love Jumper. I was a little bit obsessed with that movie when I was younger. Not as obsessed as I was with Kick-Ass, but
Did you like the
I
direct
did
connection they did in this movie with Jumper and Star Wars? Because he played Anakin and the main character in it in real life.
They were.
I might have missed
I said,
that.
this is the guy who
In
ruined
Star Wars. Like, so Christian Haydenson played in Jumper, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's during the part in the movie where he's like he's having like that dream, and he's like telling his girlfriend about it, and he's jumping everywhere, and he like teleports into like the land of like Prince Caspian and falls on his sword, and he's just standing there with the guy impaled, and he goes, "The guy who ruined Star Wars."
Okay, that makes. I was kind of lost
Christian Haydenson
during
made
that
Star
moment.
Wars, all right.
People
didn't-
just started like actually recognizing that he was fucking awesome, and it
I
bandwagon.
I did not understand that scene when it was happening. Like, I didn't grasp the fact that that dude was jumping. I forgot about that movie in the moment. So I'm like sitting there like, what the fuck is this dude doing?
He looks at her and goes, "I'm a jumper. I can jump through time and space."
In the
Dude,
movie, he
I
can't
was
jump
like-
through time, right? Like,
I think I might have been saying something to Sam when he said that, because
Were you
I
saying
did
how
not
fucking
hear that
stupid
part.
it is? You're like,
Probably. And then, yeah, I missed that part. So I was like, I don't understand what this guy's doing. And then, yeah, that moment where he fell on the sword happened. So I missed that part where he was supposed to be Hayden Christensen. But that's the other thing, is like, it's because like the Dr. Phil stuff didn't work at all either. And they already did that
Phil,
way
though.
better in, what was it, Scary Movie 4?
This
I
came out
think?
before 4,
Where they-
though.
Did it?
Yeah.
Because I thought it was Scary Movie 4 where it opened with actually
Shaq
Dr.
and Dr.
Phil.
Phil. Yeah, but that came out in
and
2012.
Shaq. But that no,
Yes.
no, there's no way.
I
no,
swear,
no,
didn't
no,
it?
no.
Oh, I guess. Oh my
No.
god, that movie looks so good for 2006.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah,
and
Disaster
then
Movie
when
came
did-
out in 2008.
Yeah, so they had already done it with
Shit.
Scary Movie 4, and it's like, I don't know, they did it better in that one because Dr. Phil cuts his foot off.
The wrong one.
the
wrong
foot.
Do you know what
So
this movie got on Rotten Tomatoes?
Oh yeah, a 1%.
I think it earned that 1%.
Dude, this is rated lower than fucking Steel, Mr. Nanny, and Cool.
Well,
as
you're kind of
Ice.
biased towards Mr. Nanny. You love that movie.
I don't.
You kind of
No,
went on.
no,
You went
no.
on and on about it, Devin. Like, we can pull that back
It's-
up. I'll be Jamie right
it's
now. That
fantastically
podcast was an
bad.
hour and a half of you just like drooling over Hulk Hogan.
I loved it because of how bad it was. Because that's the point. That was the point of that episode. That was like, we were going for bad movies, and this topped all of them.
And I chose a disaster movie because it's a disaster. Like, what do you want?
Steel was a better movie.
Hey, you
than
can't
this.
you can't trash on the Shack.
Cool as Ice was a better movie than this.
Well, Cool as Ice is
Yeah,
fucking
it
awesome.
was.
It's got
Yeah,
vanilla
Cool as Ice
ice.
is
What do you mean? Nugget
Yeah, bro, this movie was just oof.
Pocket.
But I was
Childish.
like I said, I was a bit prepared for that. It's not like I'm surprised by it, and it honestly, there were a couple of moments in the movie that made me think about some things, particularly the part with the tornadoes when they have the superheroes coming in.
Yeah.
And I was telling Sam about this because there's that moment where Bruce Banner shows up and then he turns into the Hulk.
Mhm.
And that Hulk transformation actually
it's
doesn't
good.
look terrible. It's pretty good. And it started making me think, I wonder how awesome it would be if they figured out a way to do a practical Hulk movie.
They did.
Like in the vein of like Lou Ferrigno stuff, but like an MCU
Mhm.
budget for a practical Hulk movie. I feel like that would be fucking awesome. but I don't know if it would work or not. It just that scene made me start thinking about that, and I was like, man,
It would be
that'd be
it'd be cool
cool.
if they did like a what if episode from that series, but shot it and made it like a practical Hulk. Like just I guess more of like an up to
Yeah,
date version of the old TV show.
yeah, I would definitely fucks with it.
I would also like to state I saw this movie before I ever saw the actual Iron Man movie, like years before. And so like this was my first exposure to Iron Man on screen.
Gets crushed
Bro,
into a
he
tin
got turned
can.
into a tin
Like,
can.
ow.
It's probably what ruined it. I was like, I don't really need to see the actual movie now. Damn.
So, Beck, what is your favorite joke in this movie?
There's so many. Like there are a ton that I like. I love the Beowulf one when like he's like he's just talking about like all the things. He's like, surrender so we can go out to brunch. I bought Jersey Boys tickets, just you and me. Or then there was one he's like, I want to take you on Rosie O'Donnell's cruise, just you, me, and my friend George Takei. But I think one that, looking at it now, it's probably one of my favorites because I feel like it just kind of went under the radar. Was the Sex in the City joke when Sarah Jessica Parker
Sarah Jessica
like
Parker
turns around when it's clearly just a man, and I found that fucking hilarious. I couldn't stop laughing when that happened. Poor woman. You want to talk about being made like Amy Winehouse getting made fun of? That's fine, but this woman has been called a horse, a tranny, and like just been through the fucking ringer, and she's just trying to survive in the world.
Well, she does have a horse.
She
face.
does, but come on, Matthew Broderick loves it, so like, why can't we?
Are you
You
Matthew
got
Broderick?
a point there.
Huh?
Are you Matthew Broderick?
God, I hope not. I don't want to be married to Sarah Jessica. Pretty sure that's her husband. Yeah.
No, it
I
is.
did Ferris.
It is.
Never mind. Anyway,
You
I was
said
gonna ask
what?
you how the fuck Ferris Bueller like ended up there, but
Well, it was after he killed somebody.
yeah, well they made up. He did. He met the family afterwards. You're struggling, aren't you?
I'm trying to think what my dude. I'm not gonna lie. Like so I woke up at what, like 1? No, more like noon, and I got up and started working on my music a little bit more, and then I knew I was gonna be working on, or I was gonna have to watch this. So I started drinking whiskey at like 2 in the afternoon. And I've had a number of whiskeys, and so I'm struggling to think of what my favorite joke, if I have one from this, would be.
There's so many. Like, how do you choose
None of them are
one?
good.
Sam, you're such a shithead.
The one that keeps popping up in my head is the fact that they were making fun of "Don't Mess with the
Oh
Zohan."
yeah.
Oh, when was that?
Juno's beating up
When Juno's
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Oh
beating
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that one really went under for me. I didn't
Was that
And
your
then
feet?
she's like,
Yes, and this is the baby's feet.
taste my placenta. Oh god, her whole fucking like dialogue when she gets mauled to death by Alvin and the Chipmunks, and she was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, what was it? It was like, was it make sure to KIT me before I get 186." Dude,
have you seen Juno?
yeah, it's been a while, but yes.
She wasn't like that
Well, no, but that's the whole point of
obnoxious about it, but she was pretty like that. They were nailing it a bit. Like she was definitely talking in a very like.
The thing that got me was like every time she talks, she like, and I'm just like, and the hand is what, like that's what sold me. Like this woman watched the movie before she came on to set. I was like, also, was it Ike Barinhouse?
Oh, Mike Barinholtz.
Barinholtz.
Yeah, dude, he played like
Well,
a number
everybody
of
in this
roles
movie played multiple roles. Like of the main.
Did they?
Well, so the girl who played like Cinderella or whatever, she also played Amy Winehouse and like Britney Spears part. Fuck.
Oh, and Jessica Simpson, I
That's
think.
oh yeah, that's what I meant. Not Britney Spears. But
Okay.
and then the main guy played him, the guy from the beginning, like 10,001 BC, few parts, but they all except for Calvin maybe, they all pretty much did like multiple roles. Because even at the end of the
And
credits,
then
it shows like their names and it has like all the like screenshots of the people they played.
Calvin was the black
Yeah.
dude, right? What was he? Because I feel like he was supposed to be a stand-in for Craig Robinson, but I'm not sure what movie it would have been from.
I don't know.
I almost want to say Hot Tub Time Machine, but I couldn't fucking
But that's
tell.
that's after this, isn't it?
I think actually, yeah, because that was 2010. So I don't know what that would have been from.
Let me see if I can find anything.
Yeah.
Oh,
I,
sorry.
I thought it was funny when Kim Kardashian showed up, and then like right after that, they had her wrestling Carmen Electra for like 2 or 3 minutes, and it's like this is obviously why they had Kim Kardashian come do this movie, was for this scene.
Bro, talk about an awakening. Shit. I was a child watching this one, huh? Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
This makes me feel funny.
I want to do something, but I don't know what because I don't understand. I feel funny. Oh shit! What do you think about JT's part in this?
I hate
You didn't like the whole like musical like intro like 5 minutes in?
This was my issue with it. This is my issue with these movies at this era, is that they have these people playing these characters, and sometimes they work, but most of the time they don't. Like that Dr. Phil stand-in, he was terrible, absolutely god awful. I don't understand how they thought this would work. Like,
I don't know what you mean.
The budget went to paying Kim Kardashian to be on set, I'm guessing.
Oh, that's why they had to kill her off so quickly.
They couldn't afford a fucking... quickly, she was in the movie for like, what, 20, 30 minutes?
Yeah, it's like $2 million.
I mean, that's a good portion of the movie. That's not a small amount of screen time. I thought she was going to be in the movie for the whole thing.
Well, she's in the post
because of how long she was. Yeah, and then yeah, I thought it was kind of funny that they had Juno, and then they had the Enchanted Girl as like lead characters for a little bit. And I like that the Enchanted Girl was just like some crackhead from the sewers.
Dude, the breakdance battle. It's like, wait, which Step It Up are you talking about? It's like the original one where the thug goes to like a dance class. He's like, no, fuck that. Oh.
Yeah, that joke completely fell flat. That whole bit.
Nah.
Just.
The movie's golden.
I'm telling you, man, I tried, but it was just short of hurting me.
It was so good. What do you mean?
I almost physically started melting.
Nah, it's good. It's good stuff. Is this on Peacock? Did I pay for this? Damn it!
Yeah, we watched it on Peacock.
Fuck, that's $4, man.
Yeah, that's $4 too much.
I mean, I paid.
They should. I felt like I should have been paid after I watched this.
I'll PayPal you 50 cents right now.
But it did make me like. I will say it made me nostalgic for the good movies from this genre, I guess, where like Airplane is one of my all-time favorite comedies. Yeah. And Scary Movie 1 and 2 are hilarious. that fucking scene in Scary Movie 2 where they're playing basketball. It's like the Nike commercial. Like that shit is fantastic. Um, but yeah, just that this wasn't it.
So instead of making you nostalgic, it made you wish for something better that
Well,
you
yeah,
know
that's
is
the
out
other
there.
thing. Is like I'm almost like I've heard rumors that they're considering rebooting the Scary Movie franchise. And if they do, I can only hope that they get the right talent on board and they do it right. And maybe we get like a good parody movie for the first time in like 20 years. Because I think the Scary Movie 2, I would say, is the last really good one to come
Three's
out
my
from this.
favorite.
Three's your
Yeah.
favorite? I do love the scene where they're like all freaking out and it's like Tom Cruise in War of the Worlds and they're all freaking out and then
That's
the
4.
tripod. No, that's 3.
3 makes fun of signs. And the
I
ring.
thought 3 had the cuz Simon was he in both 3 and
No,
4?
so they replaced because he's the rapper, right? Like what Rex something. He
Yeah.
left after 3, and they got a new guy to do 4,
Okay.
and that was making fun of The Grudge initially.
Yeah. So then it was definitely 3 where they had the cuz I remember it was him. It was Simon Rex and they had the tripods come out of the ground and then it was tripod shuffle.
That's 4. Devin,
And
that is 4.
I would be willing to bet $1.
I will bet you
That's
$2
3.
that 3 follows The Ring because it's the last one that Leslie Nielsen's in.
It doesn't matter what movie they're following. We just watched this movie. You know how fucking sporadic they are with references. They
But
go all
it's
over the
not,
place.
because in the background of Scary Movie 4 is the tripod.
So Simon Rex is in
No,
that
he's
one.
not. Wait, who's Simon Rex is the rapper, yes? He's not
Yeah.
in that one.
I swear
Charlie
to God, he's
Sheen
in
is
that
in the
scene.
very beginning of it, but Simon Rex, like he was not like a main character in that one at all.
Well, was he in that scene? Because I remember him in the tripod scene from Scary
No,
Movie.
there's some other generic looking white dude they pulled who looks a good bit like him.
Oh, you know what? You're right.
I know I'm
I
right.
got the fucking...
Devin, I know
I
these
pulled it
movies.
up on YouTube. I guess you do, bro. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I adore them. No. 3 followed The Ring, and it was like the last one with Rex, Charlie Sheen, and like Anna Faris all together.
Yeah, I love Simon Rex.
Yeah.
He's part of Three Loco with Riff Raff and Andy Milonakis. They got some bangers.
Do they though?
Yeah,
I
they do.
didn't know he was a rapper until years later when I looked him up, and I thought it was so funny because I remember seeing him play Eminem in the 3rd one and like doing the parody of it. I'm like, huh. It's like it's like a Joey from Friends situation who's like trying to be an actor, but like he's clearly a fucking actor on.
Well, he's in a movie that came out I think 2 years ago. I just watched it over the summer, but it's called Red Rocket. It's an A24 movie.
Yes.
And it's phenomenal. And he's the lead, and he's amazing in it. It's like the first time I've really seen him act. I mean,
he was
plays,
in 5. Why did he come back for that? Sorry.
He plays a piece of shit in Red Rocket, but he's really good at it.
Checks out.
So, I highly recommend checking that movie out because that is that's a fun watch. It's a little weird because he's like he plays this guy that's like a ex porn star that goes back to his hometown, and then he meets this 17-year-old girl, and he falls in love with her, and then he starts like hanging out with her all the time, and they develop a relationship. And then at the same time, he's like scamming certain people, trying to like get enough money to leave town again, and then some of them catch on.
What's Sam making?
That's a great
I can hear
question.
the microwave going in the background.
What?
He's got his lotion
Whoa.
and his tissues. Now he's just got to get his
We
Hot
can hear-
Pockets.
Sam, are you in your room?
No.
You're in the... But
He's got a mic on his
What?
headset, Devin.
yeah, but what is your headset connected
It's a
to?
wireless?
Oh.
Devin, I know you listen to a lot of vinyl, but holy shit, dude, like, you're detached.
I didn't know a fucking set of wireless headphones
Yeah,
would be that
Devin
good.
asked me to come down to Columbus
downstairs.
to see the new picture show. Like, the fucking...
Alright, fuck you. I'm done. I'm leaving.
Now the men can
Take your
talk.
headset with you. Oh, he can't hear me.
It's not wireless. It's got a cord.
Oh my god, damn.
He wouldn't get more than 5 feet just standing in the corner with Nick
He's
Cage.
not with the times.
Man's not with the... Is he gonna bust into your room?
Maybe. We'll see.
So Sam, I have Taco Bell too. Wait, hold on for a fucking second. Let's just make this a whole thing for a minute.
I told Sam, I asked him during the movie, I was like, hey, do you know any good lawyers? He's like, I don't. Why? I said, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to need to sue Beck after making me watch this movie.
I have a really good lawyer.
Oh, god damn it.
He's an old man that kind of talks like J.K. Simmons. You're fucked. But like
Okay,
J.K.
it sounds
Simmons, like at the Daily Bugle meme.
It sounds like Sam's my lawyer.
Why?
When he said that, he's lying.
I'm not George Costanza. Am I allowed to name drop that?
George Costanza?
Let me look at. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Hold on.
That's your fucking lawyer's name, George Costanza?
Costanza.
From Seinfeld?
Costanza. There's no T.
Devin, you need to get Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise is my lawyer? That sounds like a fucking god.
I do love that his fucking like law office comes up, and next to it is a picture of George Costanza from Seinfeld.
How can it not?
He comes out. He's like, I call Kramer to the stand.
I'm an importer and exporter. Art Vandelay.
Oh. We should do legal advice for an episode.
I have very little.
I just don't understand
seen...
why you can like defend yourself in court, but you can't defend somebody else without a degree.
I've seen a lot of Better Call Saul, so tap into my knowledge from that.
I've seen Community. That's the winger guarantee.
My legal advice is to get a lawyer.
I'm not a lawyer, but my legal advice is to find one very quickly. That's really the best advice I've gotten in a long time, Sam.
You're welcome.
Dry ass potatoes. Ugh.
Okay, so I know this is really off topic, but I did either of you have anything else to really on the top of your head right now that you wanted to say about disaster movie?
I didn't.
My life would have been better without watching it.
I didn't see the Hannah Montana Miley Cyrus twist.
Okay, so that was probably the weakest part of that entire movie for me. The weakest
kept going on
was the I'm dating so and so. Like the whole musical number was pointless, and it was like not funny at any point in time.
Did you like what's the guy's name from Bad Santa, the little one?
Oh yeah, okay.
I knew you would like that because I was like, I remember him being there. I'm like, this is gonna be the part.
I did like that part. That might have been my favorite part because I was waiting for Indiana. The second they reveal Crystal Skull in the movie, I'm like, well, Indiana Jones is going to show up. So I'd been kind of waiting for it the whole movie. So then when he shows up and it's that guy playing him, and then he like goes to whip across and he gets caught in the ceiling fan.
Like
that shit got me a
little
bit.
He's like, my nickname used to be like Chlamydia Jones. He's like, my dick looks like a melted baby Ruth at this point. And he's like, and there's no cure for herpes. Trust me.
He's like, yeah. He said something something son, and then he said, yeah, that's right. I'm your father.
Oh,
It's just like so out of
it was the. He's
nowhere.
like, let me see. He's like, I'll take it from here, and he hands him the score. He's like, thank you, son. Yeah, that's right. I'm your father. He's like, oh. But when he's like, "Is this your woman?" He's like, "Oh, you're a nice girl." And he's like, "You got a shaved cheese." He's like, "Damn." He's like, if asses were hamburgers, girl, you'd have a Whopper."
Yeah, that came a little out of left field. The whole him being his dad, but whatever.
You were
At that
looking for
point,
something to make sense, and it just never fucking happened.
Literally though. Yeah. I don't know. It was not any more than I was expecting, but it was less than I was expecting.
I'd watch it again.
I would.
Yeah.
I would. I'd give it 3 Beowulfs out of 5 for sure.
I would give it 1 dying Miley Cyrus out of 10 Hannah
I
Montanas.
waited 2 days in line for these tickets.
I did like that part where the wig falls off, and then she's like, "Wait,
You're
Hannah Montana's Miley Cyrus?"
Those pictures of me definitely got leaked onto MySpace without my consent.
Yeah, dude, I remember. So I had a huge. I mean, I still have a huge crush on Miley Cyrus. Who doesn't? But when I was a
Liam
kid,
Hemsworth.
I was obsessed with Hannah Montana. Like, I didn't watch the show a lot, but I was like, I had a huge crush on Hannah Montana. And then when those pictures leaked, whew, you better believe I was on Google trying to find those the second I heard about them.
I was in like 2nd grade when that happened. I was like 8 years old, and she was like the picture of like the Got Milk fucking advertisement in our cafeteria. That's what I remember. Ugh. I do want to ask, what'd you think of the fight scene between Kung Fu Panda and Calvin? Because it went on for a minute. Like, it was a lengthy scene for the movie.
So I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I think I disassociated for the entirety.
It's literally Kung Fu Panda walking in when they're in the museum, and then he talks about, he was like, "Your girl looks a little familiar." I think last spring he was like, I paid her $20 for 20 minutes, if you know what I mean. And she just like, yeah, well, did you know that pandas have 3 descending testicles?
Yeah, I was not paying attention. I know
Sam, you're in bewilderment.
I saw Kung Fu Panda on the screen, but my mind was like
the pizza song from Spider-Man 2.
My mind was just like, dude, what is happening? Can we just be somewhere else right now?
No, it was amazing. I can't believe you didn't pay attention. Yeah. It's like 5 minutes long.
I mean, I kind of remember seeing that. A lot happened in that movie. That's ADHD, the movie.
It's probably
right
why
there.
I liked it so much. It was the only movie that I could follow easily. It was like, because everything.
I had the intention of watching this twice this week, but I did not get a chance.
I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
I like, take it from me. That's a waste of time. You need to see this movie once.
That's the thing. I was like, after I watched it, I'm like, God damn, I'm glad I only watched it one time.
You know,
and I was like, at least it's right before we do the podcast so that I remember. And then after it was done, I was like, this movie was so bad, I need to wash the taste out of my mouth. So we started watching The 40-Year-Old Virgin.
I started watching This Is 40 after I watched that.
Well, that's funny too because I originally wanted to start watching Knocked Up,
Mm.
but I couldn't find a copy of it streaming. I have it on DVD, but it's kind of a roughed up
It
copy.
got knocked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. Plus, I think at my old copy of Superbad is sharing the same case because I destroyed the casing for my Superbad DVD.
I will say I love going back and watching these movies because there's so many references that I didn't get. Obviously, when I was like 8 years old watching them, like the Superbad one, just right at the beginning, it was such an obvious thing. But I was like, when I was a kid, I'm like, these are just two fucking guys.
I'm McLover.
You're such a
Yeah.
douchebag, McLover.
Well, I thought that was funny too because Sam only recently saw Superbad for the first time. We watched it, like a month ago?
Probably around there, yeah.
Opinions or opinion, I guess.
It's a very good movie.
Yeah, Sam.
I really like that movie.
Yeah,
Also, I really like Jonah Hill.
that's fair. No, you don't like Michael Cera though.
He's okay.
Okay. It was Christopher. He's got such a weird name. Mintz Jr. I don't know.
Christopher Mintz
Plots. Yeah, I don't know where the junior came from.
Carl's Jr.
Yeah.
This just makes me think of that. I was telling Natalie about it the other day. The whole situation in Community where Subway wants to put a location in the cafeteria, but to do that, they have to be a student. So they have a guy register as Subway. So he's just going around saying "eat fresh" to everybody.
I'm not Subway anymore. I'm Rick. I like Honda. Dude, that show is an untapped gold mine. Like, it's so amazing. I just rewatched it, got a friend onto it, and he's watching the entire series in like a month maybe.
It's so good.
Oh. God, they're listening to them in the tunnel, and there's like the CEO from Subway. He's like, I'm disgusted. Somebody would get me my jacket so I could get up and leave. And he's just sitting with like a pillow on his lap. Good shit.
All right, so Beck, I did want to ask, now that we're actually live. So you went and saw Cinemoth.
Yeah.
We'll try not to do spoilers.
I can't.
As much as possible.
Fuck.
Right,
No, I'll do my best. If you hear me start heading towards one, Devin, scream and or mute me, because I get on
I
rants.
feel like it's really, really hard to spoil
Well,
this movie.
the thing is, what I don't want to spoil are the jump scares, because there's only, like you said, there's only the few, and
yeah,
they're so hard to
But they
tell,
work.
and they're great. Well, except for one that I fucking knew was coming, and I texted you about it, and because I remember Emma like surprised me with tickets because I was on the phone with her and I was talking about it. And I'm like, yeah, they're showing. She doesn't like horror movies, and she's also just not like. It's a weird movie. It's niche. Like, you've got to be into
very much
movies
so.
to like this movie, and it's not even just about liking, but also kind of, I guess, respecting it as a movie, because it has made 67 times its budget on release, which with its $15,000 budget. So it's made like $1.5 million at this point. It's done phenomenal, and it's fucking awesome, and I loved it. But I remember, because you know exactly what part I'm talking about, Devin. When I texted you like the night after, I was like, fuck these things.
Oh yeah,
because it kept showing up, and I looked at her, I'm like, I fucking hate these.
But you still couldn't use. I that one got me too.
Oh, it got me, and it's eyes. I love eyes, but they creep me out so well, and the way they held there, even after like the shot kind of faded out. But I knew something was gonna happen with that item or that object. But they're so fucking creepy, and I was like, these things are so stupid, and I was getting mad every time it came onto the screen. And then there was a jump scare, and I looked at her, I was like, I fucking knew it. But I want to go see it again, because I got my experience a little bit ruined, because there was like a row of girls behind us that would not shut the fuck up, and we got to the scene where it's just quiet, And I remember like kind of muttering to myself because it happened. I was like, I forgot about this, and I was on edge. I remember you telling me about it. I was so like anxious the entire time. But they were just back to like fucking like laughing and just being loud as shit, and I was so aggravated.
Yeah, like I said, the theater I was in when that scene happens where it gets really really quiet, nobody said or did a fucking thing. Everybody was just. I've never heard a theater that packed, that quiet for that long, and it was just very, very
That's the
impressive.
thing I'm jealous about, like with the theaters that you guys kind of have in your area, is that there are those ones I think people go to who are like really big into movies, and it's for that experience and not just like to kill a couple hours of their time and like joke around. Like I'll go
Yeah,
to a movie and like with my friends, and like we'll like talk, whisper, or whatever, like laugh. But when I'm there for like something like this, I'm like really excited about it. I'm like I am there for the movie and the experience. And we don't have
right.
anything like that. It's the mall or it's like the plot, this plaza in Marietta.
Yeah, I have a really hard time picturing somebody talking through a movie at the theater right next door to our place, or
Yeah,
even
like that small one. I'm like, you have to like go there because you love movies.
the Gateway is a little bit different. That's where I saw Skinamarink, but the Gateway is like on campus, so there's a chance you might have like some drunk college kids that
I
wandered
can
in that
handle
might.
drunk college kids. I'm like, I've worked at
But
bars. I'm used to that. But children, I fucking hate them.
well, but the other thing is though, like I'm just imagining like drunk college kids sitting through Skinamarink. Like at a certain point, though, like, is there anything that's actually gonna fucking happen in this movie? Like,
That was the thing I kept telling her. I'm like, this is a slow movie. I was like, it might not be scary to like what you think. I'm like, it has a few moments from what I've heard. I was like, but it's gonna be slow. So like, don't go in here expecting like The Conjuring.
Yeah, I feel like because I haven't seen it, I feel like it'd be more just unsettling instead of scary.
It's so
it's
atmospheric.
very, very unsettling.
I love it. I really do.
But it is like he said, it is so much the atmosphere because,
And also, oh,
like I
sorry,
said,
I'm just excited.
the the whole thing is super fucking grainy the whole time, and then even the audio has the like fuzz over it, and it's very, it's like the most lo-fi movie I've ever seen.
And one thing I think that they did really well, like, or I don't even know if this was intentional or not, but it worked out, is that a lot of the shots are so dark, and because of that grain, it makes things kind of hard to distinguish. So my mind almost started like playing tricks on me and like seeing shit in
Yeah.
the shot. So I'm like,
Yes.
it was so
Yes.
good because I'm like, I don't know if this is in the fucking movie or if it's the film grain making it just seem like
Yep.
something's happening. And it was amazing. Cause I'm like, I'm scaring myself essentially.
Yep. Well, and I thought it was really impressive. It's the only movie I've ever seen where
Nothing happens, but
and
so
I
much does.
well, no. I was going to say it's a little bit of a spoiler, but I think I already told Sam and Natalie about it, but you don't fucking see the
You
characters
see, like you
at
see them a
all
little
the
bit,
whole
but
movie. You see like the shots of their feet or their legs or maybe the back of their head. But you never see their face, you never see a full body shot. And then it's that final shot that just like really kind of teases you, and
like
then
the
you think
blur.
you might, you because it's so blurry, but you think you might be about to see something, and then it's just that ending is so fucking good. I loved this movie.
Like I was reading it, like we were like when we were setting up and doing stuff. I was reading the movie because I wanted to kind of like refresh myself. Because like, I felt like there was stuff I was missing where I'm like, I'm not. I'm like they just don't explain anything, and that makes it so much worse.
Well, and it's funny too because so I'm a big fan of David Lynch. I might have already said
I
this, but I'm a big fan of David Lynch, and I have not seen Inland Empire, which I really want to see. It's like a 3-hour movie, but it's considered one of the strangest movies ever made. And a lot of people have a hard time following it. And David Lynch is known for making movies that are hard to follow anyway, but that one's like apparently really, really hard to follow.
So
And
Sam, you would follow it very well.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
Chip
probably.
has seen it, and Chip is who I went and saw Skinamarink with. And when we left Skinamarink, he was like, "Wow, I'm not gonna lie, that just made Inland Empire look tame.
Really?
Yeah. So,
Oh, I think the
because it is a very strange movie.
the hardest scene, and I didn't even realize that the daughter kind of like isn't a part of the movie at a certain point. I didn't realize that, but like when she's in the bedroom, and it's just like between
Look under the
yeah. Whenever they did shit like that, that's when the fucking kids behind me would start like they would say it but like louder and then just start laughing at each other and oh
Nah, man. When that guy's like, look under the bed, everybody in the theater was like, "Oh fuck no!"
right?
Everybody was like reacting like, "No, hell no!" Like, it's fucking great.
Oh.
um, but yeah, it's just it's such a creepy movie, and I'm so glad that a movie like this is doing as well as it is, because it is very reminiscent of like Paranormal Activity, which a lot of people compared this movie to. They even said like if David Lynch directed Paranormal Activity, this is what that movie would be. And it makes sense, and it's just cool to see something like this where like you have a movie that's made with such a small budget and is like kind of a weird idea, but then it becomes like a big. Now this isn't on the scale of Paranormal Activity, because Paranormal Activity became like the biggest fucking movie for like 2 months. But and I went and saw that in theaters, and I loved it when I saw it in theaters, and it was a really fun experience. But it's just like this reminded me a lot of that, and the way it's performing in theaters on like a smaller scale, but still like the fact that it's made, what you said, 67 times its budget.
As of 5 days ago, it was like 67 times.
Yeah,
Probably
so
gonna
it's
raise
just
even
like
more. It honestly.
it's it's incredible, and this gives me a lot of hope for, a lot of people make the argument that like you're not gonna get artistic films anymore, and like cinema's dead, and like it's so hard to make an artsy movie that's like really out there, and then you get something like this that's really out there, but people are interested and want to see it, and this is proof of that if you put something that's well made and is made uniquely in front of people, and you market it correctly, people will come out and fucking see it.
Oh,
And
dude,
that's
like the trailer for this is amazing because it just and you don't realize until you see it, but you're like you have so many questions just from it, and the trailer's so creepy. It reminds me almost like of a it's such an I feel like it's an obscure movie, but it's The Changeling. I kind of just get a similar vibe between like the way they build around it. Like you go into it 'cause you're like you just need an explanation, but you still don't get shit from it.
well, and it was funny when we were getting ready to watch the movie. We're sitting in the theater, and the movie's like the lights dimmed, and like the logos for the people who funded and produced the film are coming up, and I heard some guy near the front of the theater yell, "In this house!"
Jesus.
So like the people in the theater were hyped, and because of that trailer, because I've even shown that trailer to a number of people, and everybody's like, "Oh, that's just unsettling." Like just the trailer alone is creepy enough to get eyeballs on the screen. So if you can market your fucking movie right, you can, and you make a good movie that's interesting, people will go and see it. Now, obviously, this is not a movie for everyone, so I can't ever imagine something like this having like Paranormal Activity like success. But this is like the closest thing you can get to that for a movie like this, I feel like.
Especially anymore. I don't horror itself is dying on top of
I actually disagree.
I feel like it is.
I think horror had one of the best years it's had in a long
well,
time.
no, okay, so I'll give you that. Like, yes, but it just we're seeing too many like cookie cutter movies anymore, and
well,
I think it's like almost diluting horror as a genre. I shouldn't say dying.
See, I would also disagree with you on this, because honestly, in my opinion, right now, the horror genre is the only genre where we are consistently getting unique movies. Because all the other genres, it's either like the same kind of like, and I love crime drama. And yes, there are good crime dramas still coming out, but a lot of it's the same stuff. Superhero movies are the big thing. Star
Like
Wars,
I'm a
like
hypocritical
all those big
because I
franchises.
love Marvel,
But
but
yeah, exactly. I do too. I'm not saying that it's a like I'm not hating on Marvel. I'm just saying so like horror is the only genre where you get like the fucking lighthouses and hereditaries, and then on the same other side of the coin you get the Evil Dead Rises and the Barbarians, and you get X and Pearl, which I still have yet to see, but I've heard is amazing. And just like we watched, I don't know if you've seen it. It's a movie called Upgrade.
okay.
We just watched it. Me, Sam, and Natalie sat down and watched it the other night. I'd seen it before, but when we went and saw Megan, which is another example of a fun, not necessarily original film, but a fun movie executed in a very entertaining way. But so it reminded me a bit of this other Blumhouse horror film called Upgrade, which it's a horror film, but it's also not, because honestly, it's Cyberpunk 2077, the movie. But this guy gets like paralyzed. He gets attacked and he gets paralyzed. And somebody comes to him with an offer at a second chance at life with this chip that they insert into the like base where his brainstem meets the spinal cord. And this will give him full mobility again. And he ends up taking the offer, and then this thing ends up like upgrading him, and so he can run faster, he's stronger, he's just like he's better. And then he realizes that this thing can talk, and also he's on a mission because when he was paralyzed, his wife is also attacked, and so he wants to know who attacked him and his wife. And so he's trying to track them down. And this thing starts talking to him and helping him track them down. And it's like a really badass action, like cyberpunk movie. There's like dudes with guns in their hands and shit. And then it takes a really hard left turn into horror in like the last 45 minutes of the movie. And it's just, it's such an entertaining and unique film. And honestly, I hadn't seen it since it came out, and we just rewatched it, and it is actually one of the most unique action films I've ever seen because of the horror elements that revolve around like AI and stuff like that. So it's a really cool movie. I highly recommend you check it out. I think you'd love it. And anybody who's watching this, definitely check it out because it's a fucking cool movie. As Sam will attest.
Yep. It was very good. I really enjoyed it.
Sam,
it's badass.
I just like really just like ditto.
There's a scene. Is that a spoiler?
Just
Fuck.
What were you gonna say?
So there's a scene where the guy has a gun in his hand. The upgraded
scene.
guy points his own hand back at him and shoots off his head.
He kills him with his own hand.
Fucking wild.
It's a fucking cool scene.
Whenever you say that, I just think of Guns Akimbo.
There's so many cool moments in this movie, there's also funny moments and stuff like that. But that's the thing, like there's only one real genre where I feel like something like that fits, and it's horror. And that's the thing, like horror, I feel like the horror genre is the genre where we get the most unique movies right now. Get Out. Nope.
No.
Barbarian. The Lighthouse. I know I referenced The Lighthouse already, but Green Room. Even Green Room is, in my opinion, a horror film.
It's definitely like a thriller kind of thing.
It's like a thriller horror. And thrillers and horrors are like the genres right now where we're still getting cool, unique stories, whereas everything else is kind of the same. So I'm actually on the side of I think horror is not only thriving right now. I think it's like it's the best it's been maybe ever outside of maybe 80s horror.
Okay.
But that's just my opinion.
And that's just a theory.
A
A
game
game theory.
I don't know if you have a different opinion, if you want to retort or you want to.
No, I'm pretty I, I don't think I can say it.
What? Go
No,
for
I
it.
don't. I'm not. I'll pass.
Were you about to insult?
No, I was
me?
about to
Were you
insult.
about to call me a racial
I was about
slur?
to insult myself, but it's like, you know how people get these days.
Well, hey, can you please be nice to my friend Beck?
Don't try this game with me.
Well,
That only makes me. Ugh. Ugh. It's cringe, Devin. Let's keep going. Let's move on.
that was kind of the end of my rant. I kind of went on a rant there about horror for a minute, but I'm just very passionate about that genre, especially right now when we get on like that context. Because yeah, like I just every movie that I watch right now that I like is a horror film.
Oh yeah, horror's fucking great.
I actually, and this isn't even a new one, but I just watched a movie. I was kind of curious. I forgot to ask you last week, but have you ever seen the movie Near Dark with Bill Paxton?
I don't think.
Dude, you should watch that movie too. I think it came out in like 80
87.
And Bill Paxton plays like a fucking awesome evil vampire guy, and the whole movie is like about this guy who ends up accidentally falling in love with a vampire, and she turns him, and then her like family kidnaps him and takes him on a road trip, and they have to like he has to prove himself to them or else they're gonna kill him. And then it's like the whole movie is him fighting the fact that he will have to kill somebody if he wants to survive around them.
Bill Murray's gonna die someday.
Bill
Yeah.
Murray?
Oh.
Bill Paxton.
Oh, I know what you said.
The guy from Twisted.
Yeah.
Bill Murray.
The guy
will
from
die
Garfield.
someday. But I'm already prepared for that. I already watched him die. I watched him get shot with a
Oh, I
shotgun.
love it. Heard some asshole killed Bill Murray. Like, oh. Yeah. I'm not ready for that world, Devin. Not ready for that world.
So I was showing Sam. This is a little bit off topic, but I was showing Sam earlier Angry Video Game Nerd. I don't know if you've seen any of his videos, but I was watching one of his videos earlier today actually, and he was playing a Ghostbusters game.
Love that game.
And well, it was there's a lot of them, but he was playing
They're all
one of
good.
the shitty ones on the like Super Nintendo, and the guy who I can't remember what it was, but he was like, I think oh no, that's right, he ended on a good Ghostbusters game. So he played a bunch of shit ones, then he played the final one he actually liked, and he's like, is it ironic that I'm ending this on a good Ghostbusters game? It's almost as ironic as the fact that the guy who voiced Peter Venkman in the Ghostbusters cartoon show is also the same guy who voiced Garfield. And then the guy who played Peter Venkman in the live action movies, Bill Murray, also voiced Garfield in the live action Garfield movies. So I thought that was a pretty interesting little overlay there. The fact that the two people who played Garfield also played Peter Venkman.
Yeah.
Don't give me that fucking shit. Sorry, I fucking We'll have to have like a cancel buzzer, like the whitest kids. On their stream, they have like a button they'll press if they get bored of someone's story.
That's fucking great. I need that in real life. Like, mainly for myself, but also like people just come up and like, eh. Oh, yeah. Ghostbusters, am I right? The Ghost Beaters, FA. The Ghost Beaters.
Sam, we still need to fucking watch Ash versus the Evil
We
Dead.
do. Yeah.
I have to show Natalie Army of Darkness first.
Yeah.
And we gotta watch that before the new Evil Dead movie.
I'm all caught
Because
up.
like I said, it's in the same timeline.
So are they confirmed that they're going to be following like the multiple Necronomicon timeline, or is that just a theory for the new movie that could?
No, that was the director who said
Oh,
that.
so this is going to be another one of them.
That was the director who came out. The director for the new one came out and said when he sat down with Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell to talk about how this would fit into the overarching story, he was talking about the fact that, you know, he noticed in Army of Darkness there's 3 Necronomicons. And so he thought it would be cool if one of those is the one that Ash is dealing with. One of the Necronomicons is the one that was in the 2013 reboot. Yeah, Mia's Necronomicon. And then the other one is the one that's going to show up here. And they're like cousins of each other. And they're not the same book, but they're similar. And they might have different powers. They might have different types of influence.
That's what I was curious about. Like seeing if they even changed the
and-
artwork inside the books and stuff.
Yeah. And they just, but they are related and they are from the same bloodline, and basically like they are connected, but they're different.
So they can I wonder if they're gonna try to make it like the dark ones kind of wrote like some of them wrote their own versions, and that's what these are. Like that's how they're like different versions of them.
Yeah, I'm honestly curious to see how they fit this one in, like, because I know they, like I said, they said they were gonna be answering questions about how this all fits together, but I'm also curious if we're not gonna hear or see anything about Ash, Ruby, Pablo, Kelly.
And so I'm like, I wonder if they'll even bring up like a news report or something, like just talking about maybe like some of the natural disasters that were happening in the TV show, maybe, or like I don't fucking know. They had that raid on the town with the giant like. Oh shit!
Yeah,
never mind.
I mean that was a big deal, but that's also, I feel like, if anything, this would be before that. I almost feel like this would be while Ash is still around trying to fight the Deadites.
So like before he read it in his trailer, or like midpoint in that season, like those seasons.
I honestly I have no idea. I just feel like it would be before Ash goes into a slumber for 1,000 years.
Yes. Well, that's what I'm
was.
thinking. Like maybe it's before the show, entirely before the show, because then the show kind of wraps it all up. Like it's him in the end. Ah, damn it, Sam. I hope you don't listen. Thank you. But you know what I mean, Devin? How they end the series.
Yeah.
So like, because everything kind of happens like one right after each other in the seasons. So I would say it's like during that. I would say it's probably before the show. I would maybe. I feel like it'd fit well in there.
We'll see.
Or it could be while he's
curious.
on vacation. When he finally gets his where he wants to be. The city's so nice.
Jacksonville, man.
Yeah, I was supposed to go down here with some friends, but we ended up going to a cabin instead. Let me tell you, they had lime cucumber Gatorade for 61 cents. Still too much.
I do not like that flavor at all.
I'm gonna be like gagging from cucumber flavor.
I don't know if I've told you about Shane at all. He's a friend of mine from high school. He's a cool dude, but we would go over to his house all the time, and his mom would always buy him fuck tons of Gatorade. And she got him a bunch of those cucumber lime ones one time, and we all tried it, and we were like, Sucks.
I like it in what's the term? Moderation.
Small doses.
Yeah, kind of like when you're trying to wean yourself off of like black tar heroin. Cold turkey is really hard, so you just got to do a little bit less each time.
Are you saying that cucumber lime Gatorade is as addicting as black tar heroin?
And it makes me just as sick.
Are you sponsored by Gatorade?
I'm definitely
bro?
not sponsored by heroin. Put this shit in your arms, kids. We. Drug problems are real. This is the dude, fucking crackhead diving out the window of the door in the garage. I lived in a fucking crack shack, Devin. Some of the shit that I've seen in that place, you would not believe.
Wait, what are you talking about?
I literally lived in a crack shack for a little bit after I left school before I started again. And some of the shit that like happened in that house and that was just left behind there is just unreal. It was absurd.
Crack shack.
Oh
huh?
my god. Yeah. Yeah. Good times. I loved painting over all the swastikas drawn on the walls. That was really fun.
What did you paint over them with rainbows?
No, white paint. Which is probably what they
Just
wanted.
regular ass paint.
Oh god.
All right, well,
Yeah,
what time is it?
almost won.
Going for a little over an hour here. Well, do you guys want to keep going, or should we call it?
Ow!
I don't know. I kind of want to finish 40-year-old version.
Okay, yeah, we can finish that when we wrap this up.
Good movie. He's like, yeah. He's like, oh fuck. He's like, she was a hoe faux show. He's like, this is how you talk. Like, keep your bitch on a leash, man. Like, oh whoa, like, baby, he's not even my friend.
Well, dude, so it
She
was
was-
like, yeah, we finished Disaster Movie, and I'm like, fuck, that movie was so bad. I want to watch like a good comedy, and I really wanted to watch Knocked Up because
It's good.
I don't know why that movie just made me want to watch Knocked Up. I think it was partially because of the Juno thing.
I was
Have
gonna
you
say
seen,
because like Knocked Up is good, but I think that 40-year-old version's 1,000 times better.
I honestly, I think Knocked Up is funnier.
I don't know.
But I don't know. I just like Seth Rogen's character more. And
It's definitely a weird role for him. Like it's funny, but still like kind of like trying to be. It was weird at the time when I watched it, but
dude, the fucking part where he's smoking weed. She's pregnant and she's sleeping in his bed, and he's out in the living room smoking weed, and then the earthquake happens, and he starts screaming and runs out of the house with his bong. And he doesn't even go and get hurt. And then she runs out of the house, and he's out there with the bong. And then Jason Segal's character comes out, and he's completely butt ass naked. And then he's standing there, and he's like, "Oh fuck the stove!" And he runs back inside, butt ass naked. Like that movie just cracks me up. And then like him and Paul Rudd, they eat shrooms and go to Cirque du Soleil. They like freak the fuck out.
I want to know what it is with him and Paul Rudd. Like they have to be friends because they've been in like a few movies together. So but Jason Segel is like one of my favorite actors, and I really want to watch that new show coming out, Shrinked. It's like Shrinking
with him and Harrison
Yeah.
Ford. Is that a show?
It's Apple TV. I thought it was gonna be a show.
I saw a trailer. I didn't watch the trailer, but I saw the thumbnail for it, and I had heard about it, but I thought it was a movie.
I don't know that. I could be wrong, but I thought it was. I just know it's Apple TV, and I want to see it.
I know very little about it, so but I think it might be an Apple TV movie.
Okay.
Because I know they do movies as well as shows. I know I said doo-doo. Which, by the way, do you have Apple TV?
Fuck no. I just got Spotify Premium because somebody gave me their login.
if you get Apple TV, you have to watch Severance. I tell everybody that. Watch Severance. That's the first thing you should watch when you get an Apple TV. But he was also Jason Segel was also in a show.
How Met Your Mother.
It was a show or a movie on Netflix, but it was about scientists had somehow proven that the afterlife was real. And so all of a sudden there was a major uptick in suicides.
Oh fuck, that's kind of cool, but like morbid.
And so the whole plot was like the whole world is basically killing themselves to get to this afterlife. And Jason Segel and another, it was I can't remember the actress,
Windfall?
but the two of them. Is that what it's
No,
called?
I'm looking through it. Let me find it.
It was like maybe 4 years ago at the most, maybe 5.
Dispatchers from Elsewhere.
Dispatches from Elsewhere. That's it.
So,
I'm pretty sure that's it.
oh wait, no, sorry. It's the Discovery.
Okay, the trailer for that. You should watch the trailer for that. That show looked really cool. I never got a chance to watch it, but the idea behind it sounded really cool, and then the trailer made it look fantastic. And I heard it was pretty good.
Everybody's been like shitting. Like that trailer for Shrinking came out, and people have just been shitting on him about his acting. And I'm like, I've never had an issue with the guy, like nor really heard anything. But everybody, I just saw like an uproar of people who don't fucking like him.
Speaking of him and Judd Apatow movies, Sam, have you seen Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
Nope.
Oh, dude, the cock shot. God, I can't tell you how many times I rewound that.
I fucking love this movie.
Amazing.
This is Sam, we'll have to watch this sometime. This is another really good Judd Apatow movie. It even says from the guy who brought you The 40-Year-Old Virgin and Knocked Up, because I think this was right after both of those.
Before I even forget, say on 40-Year-Old Virgin again. Whenever like she finds the dating card, she's reading it to him like Chris Hansen in an episode of like To Catch a Predator. She's like, "Did you write she's hurting for a squirtin'?" And dude, that is my favorite scene from that entire movie by far.
Dude, I was just watching, like, I'm not gonna lie, I spent the entire day in bed yesterday, and all I did was watch Charlie White, Moist Critical, just watch to catch a.
Oh,
Predator
I would fall
like
asleep to those streams.
8 hours.
They're amazing. I love the ones to where it's like people who have already been on the show, and it's like Chris is almost just more disappointed in them than anything. And I'm like, come on, man, you know better.
Dude, I saw one yesterday where the decoy was like, "Hey man, you wanna like I'm kind of nervous. You wanna get in the hot tub?" And the guy's like, I don't know, maybe that's not a good idea. He's like, "Oh, come on!" And then Charlie's like, "What the fuck? Did they hire a predator to catch a predator?" Like, he's like pushing it harder than I've ever seen any decoy push before for that. It was pretty funny.
I love that show. I get on kicks where I just want to binge it. Like the one where I think the guy had to have had some mental disorder or something, but he was just like, "My mom's gonna take my computer away." And I'm like, that's like what that's what you're getting from this, dude. He was like, "Oh, my mom's gonna take my computer." I was like, what the fuck?
He's like, "I won't be able to play World of Warcraft."
He's like, "My clan needs me." Oh, and then Knocked Up. There's like a whole like bit in that movie where everybody in that house has pink eye, right? Yes, yes.
Yeah, because he's like, because there's a moment where he goes back to the house. He's like moved out, but he goes back to the house, and Jay opens the door, and he's got pink eye. He's like, "Whoa, man, what the fuck happened to you?" He's like, "So, So and so farted on my pillow, and I got pink eye, and so in a bit of revenge, I farted on his pillow, and then now we all have pink eye. And then another dude comes to the door and he's also got pink eye. He's just like, "Sup, dude?"
Oh. Woo. Good movie.
Dude, I love that movie too because Martin Starr is in it, and I love Martin Starr. He's great in Freaks and Geeks,
Oh.
and also Silicon Valley. But that fucking that role of his is literally just dude on couch, and he's just high as shit the entire.
You think he was
movie.
method acting?
Yeah, probably.
Woo.
But that's the other thing though. That movie also, it's like what I said with Big, where like I wanted Tom Hanks' fucking apartment in Big. At the same time, after I saw Knocked Up, I wanted that party house.
I want the house from I Love You. Is it I Love You Man? I wanted Sydney's house.
Well, with Knocked Up, it's not even necessarily the house in particular. It's the fact that it's like him living with his friends in a house, just fucking doing whatever, and like just fucking acting like kids, basically. Because they were like they were getting high and doing American Gladiator in the pool in the backyard, and then going to the amusement park afterwards.
Workaholics, essentially.
Yeah, basically, but workaholics, and I kind of feel like that's to a degree that's us in this house.
Sam's totally
like sometimes he's
What?
checked out a little.
No,
bit,
no.
but
You're
sometimes-
Adam. Fucking Sam's the one. The curly hair. Fuck.
Blake.
Yes, Blake. Yeah, that makes sense.
You think I'm Adam?
You're not hot. God, I can't think of names.
So I would actually say I would be Blake. Sam would be Durs.
Oh, Durst. But
and then
Sam's got the
Natalie would
hair.
be Adam. Well, I'm going based off personality.
I'm going off looks, and Sam's definitely as pretty as Blake. you
All right,
got
well then based off
you
looks,
got the like you even just make me think of Adam. Is it Adam Devine or Levine?
Adam DeMamp.
I thought. Why did I think his last name?
DeMamp.
Demam.
Yeah, Adam Levine is the guy from Maroon.
Well, yeah, but I just thought for some reason that they had like very No, it's Adam Devine. Yeah.
I don't know why his name is Adam DeMamp on Instagram.
Middle name?
So that's the last. Maybe that's his middle name. Yeah.
But no, especially because I was watching his stand up and he was talking about how he lost his virginity to Blink One, like after a Blink 182 concert, and the story just made me think of you because he was talking about how they were like even like doing it to Blink, and he was like he's like more of like these like fuck, he's like more like all the medium sized things. Am I right, babe? And I don't know. It's shit like that. I'm like, I could see you fucking telling me this story. It's just some stupid ass shit.
Yeah, I mean, I get if you're gonna go off looks and say that I look like Adam Devine, then all right, I'll take it.
Oh, that's not that big of a compliment. I mean, you hung yourself in a closet while jerking off for a fucking movie.
That movie is fucking fantastic.
I've seen it. It's
I
perfect.
love that movie so much.
Oh, when they make like the robot man with like the lava stones.
Dude, so they were supposed to make a Workaholics
And it got
movie.
canceled.
I'm so pissed because I absolutely loved Workaholics.
Good show.
My favorite episode was probably either the one where they took mushrooms in the office and then some burglars broke in. and then they were like freaking out and trying to stop the burglars the whole time. That just turned out to be IT. Or the Great Beer Heist, where it ended with what's his name? Their weed
Carl?
dealer. Carl jumping into the pool and then diarrheaing entirely in the beer pool. Like,
Oh, dude. I need to rewatch it. It's been too long.
Yeah, that show had so many good episodes.
Ugh.
Well, like disaster movie, this podcast kind of went all over the place. But again, that's kind of the format now. Is we're just gonna talk about the movie. We're gonna talk about at the beginning, and then we're just gonna kind of let the conversation go where it's gonna go. And this one took us to Evil Dead again,
Always.
which I'm
It's always going to circle back
yeah,
around until the movie comes out, and like a few months after, I feel like it's always going to keep coming back to that.
and we talked about Judd Apatow movies, and
I'm McLover.
a lot of other stuff. And we also talked about disaster movie. I forgot to ask. So, two things before we end this podcast. One, Sam, what do you rate disaster movie? Because I don't think you gave us a rating.
That's a good.
It is not a good movie.
It's a good movie.
Okay,
It's
what
a
do you
movie.
rate it?
Maybe 2
I'll take that.
out of 50.
Out of 50. Oh shit! All right.
It's like a 1. It's still higher than Rotten Tomatoes.
And that's true. And also, I'm gonna put both of you on the spot here because Beck, I forgot to ask.
I know you
last
did,
week,
and I didn't have anything prepared.
So I'm hoping you do
No,
this week.
I'm good at
what is
bullshitting.
your disaster movie idea?
So it's got to be a direct sequel, yeah.
No, this is an original idea.
I thought it was sequels to the movies that we watched.
No, that was what I did a while back. But if you remember when we did Volcano, I came up with my own idea.
Oh, hold on. I had notes. I kind of started thinking of a sequel.
I mean, you can do if you want to do a sequel. No. That's also fine. If you, it's more of like, what do you think would be a good disaster movie? Pitch me your disaster movie.
Pitch me my disaster movie? Shit, man.
Yeah.
You know, like, Sam, what do you think is a good disaster movie?
Armageddon.
Tell me about it.
What do you mean tell you about it?
Tell me about it.
Have you not seen
I have
Armageddon?
not seen Armageddon.
Basically, there's an asteroid
you're
hurtling towards
in
Earth.
luck. Hold on. That's what we're doing next
Oh,
week.
wait. Hold on. I have it. I have a name. I'm trying to fucking... I had it down. Give me like 2 seconds. I'm so sorry.
Armageddon is the movie we're doing next week. So I don't want to do any spoilers for Armageddon here. Because if Beck has not seen it, I want him to go into this fresh as a daisy.
My name is not Daisy, nor am I fresh. Fuck, what is it called?
Man. That Donato's hat you got on is pretty fresh.
So
Does the zombie movie count as a disaster?
Ooh, does it? Because it's an apocalypse. So I have an idea for a movie, and it's kind of like, what was the Day After Tomorrow? Except it's the opposite. It's called Scorcher, right? And it follows this guy named Tug Speedman. And I mean, the world just like it delves into like global warming takes over, all the ice caps start melting, and everything's just kind of flooding, and it's everybody looking for these just the highest points in the world you can get, and it basically just becomes a king of the hill for Mount Everest.
What movie?
It's called Scorcher, and I've got like 6 sequels planned, all with Ben Stiller playing the main character.
Wait.
Yeah.
That's from Tropic Thunder, you fucker.
What? I don't know what that movie is. I've never seen that movie with Ben Stiller, Tobey Maguire, Jack Black.
You fucker. But you know what? That actually, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to give that to you. Actually making Scorcher, that'd be like when they actually made Machete, which was originally just a trailer for the Grindhouse double feature with Death Proof and Planet Terror. And so, I mean, Honestly, if somebody could convince Ben Stiller to actually make Scorcher,
But he's got to be in
and then
blackface.
maybe there's like, and maybe there's trailers
He's
for
got to be
like,
in black.
well, no,
Tastefully, like Robert Downey Jr.
No, I was gonna say maybe there's a trailer for the movie they were making in Tropic Thunder in front of Scorcher.
Can we? So, quick question while I mentioned Ben Stiller, have you guys seen Zoolander? Like any of it?
Yeah.
So we talk about the scene where he's in the coal mine and he jumps up from the wall.
It's been a long time.
Because I was watching it on New Year's and I was like, oh god, I'm like that did not age well. That's like Ken. I can't pronounce his name. Ken from Community during like a Dean.
Ken Jeong.
Yeah, it's got a like similar vibe to it.
Oh my god, when he's the dark elf. They literally, I'm pretty sure they had to remove that episode because of that.
He fucking what's his name? It's he looked like Mr. Popo from Dragon Ball.
Yeah. Oh god. Just picturing it.
Smile. It's like
with his mannerisms and like his smile and shit.
That is, that's something that he still looks back on. He's like, he probably goes, I get the chuckle out of it. Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess.
Scorcher.
So you're going with Scorcher, huh? I like it. I'm into it. But okay, so what's the plot? What's going on in Scorcher?
The ice caps are melting. Did you not hear that?
No, I went.
It's not a good plot, but it's like it took me like 30 seconds to think of it. So like, bear with me. We'll fix it in post. No, the ice caps are melting, and so everybody's like flocking to higher land, like basically building like makeshift rafts and shit, whatever they have to do to survive. But then like the highest peak, Mount Everest, everybody starts fighting. It's like a king of the hill for like high ground kind of shit.
Okay, that's where I think I came back was for that part. Okay.
And then Scorcher 6, an ice age. But it's just day after tomorrow, but it's him going after Jake Gyllenhaal.
So I'm gonna Sam, I'm gonna ask you the same thing. So be prepared. Start thinking of if you haven't already, start thinking of a disaster movie to pitch. But I've got another one because when we were done watching Day After Tomorrow, I was like thinking, it's like, what if right after the events of Day After Tomorrow, Dennis Quaid's character gets informed that there's like an asteroid hurtling towards Earth, and then like there's a sequel to Day After Tomorrow, but it's like Armageddon, where he's got to go fight like an asteroid.
Oh
in space.
shit!
And then after that, they announce that that there's like a fucking black hole coming, and so now he's got to go fight a black, and it's just like every movie is like a disaster that ups the last one, and it's like John Wick where there's like 5 or 6 of them and they just keep getting crazier and crazier.
Oh, what's it called?
I thought that'd be a fun franchise. It'd be like the Fast and the Furious, but
Okay, so one disaster, I call it a disaster movie, completely forgot about, I love, is Seeking a Friend for the End of the World with Steve Carell and Keira Knightley. And you talked about an asteroid.
Oh my god, I forgot about that movie. One.
Because it's like, I mean, it's a romance movie, but it's just like, it's so good. And I think I don't think it got enough attention.
Wait, hold on. There was another. I think I'm thinking of a different one. I don't actually think I saw that one. Which one am I thinking?
I just remember they went to Shenanigans, and the world's literally ending in like 3 days, and people are still working and going to Shenanigans. I don't know. The end of the movie is kind of like no, I don't want to say haunting, but it's sad.
God, I can't remember what the fuck that movie was called, but it was like really, really good.
Yeah.
I think it had Aubrey Plaza in it.
Like disaster movie kind of thing.
Well, it was that. Oh no, I know who's in it. It was about this guy who. It's not a disaster movie. It just. I don't know why my brain went here, but it's a movie about a guy. This documentary crew. Safety not guaranteed. So it's got Aubrey Plaza and Mark Duplass, but it's about this girl who's working for a magazine and she gets a lead on an interesting story about a guy who claims that he's a time traveler.
Oh, Jake Johnson's
And
in it.
and yeah,
Nice.
it's a fucking great movie. Um and it's like the whole movie is them trying to figure out if he's legit or not. It's a really cool movie.
I mean, I'll watch anything with Jake Johnson, 100%.
I also forgot I had Jeff Garlin in it.
Ooh, damn. I love him.
But yeah, the cast was really good, and yeah, I recommend that movie as well.
All right, I'll check it out.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know why my mind went there. That's just when you said that was the movie I thought of when you said that. I haven't seen Seeking a Friend for the End of the World, but I remember the marketing for that one.
It was a good movie. I really, really like it.
But I am gonna go ahead and end this here.
You didn't
We
get
have
to
been
hear my
going for-
disaster movie.
Oh, that's right.
All right. So
Scorcher too.
I'm ready.
the sun explodes.
Holy shit.
Characters only got 8 minutes to live the rest of their life. Starring Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Rupert Grint.
So wait. So it's a Harry Potter sequel, but the sun's
Why is it Harry
exploding?
Potter?
Towards the end of the movie, at the end of the 8 minutes, Hermione pulls out a time turner.
So it's like Majora's Mask.
I was
the
gonna say,
movie.
like it's one of those movies that follows like 30 different people, but it's like each like the last 8 minutes of them on Earth and like whatever's happening.
I mean, that wouldn't be a bad
I'd see it.
movie, especially if they link the stories up potentially.
Well, I mean, you can link
They
it because
found a
then
way
they
to
all
link-
died, and then
Well, but I mean, like if somehow the stories were interconnected,
Ugh.
and then it's like it's like have you ever seen Vantage Point?
no.
Vantage Point is about it's like this movie where there's I think it's the president does a speech and he ends up getting assassinated. And then the movie replays the same scenario of the president getting assassinated like 8 times, but every time it's from a different person's perspective. And so you'll get like 10 minutes in one character's perspective and then 10 minutes in another character's perspective. And as you keep seeing these perspectives, the picture ends up becoming clearer and clearer. So you get these different vantage points and then eventually you start to understand what the fuck is actually going on. And they use everybody's experience in the movie to connect to help broaden the picture. It's a cool movie. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like an amazing movie. It's kind of forgettable, but it is like a cool concept.
I just like
that I think it does kind of well.
I like to think that at the end of your movie, Sam, that everybody meets up in heaven, and then the Backstreet Boys have a concert.
Well, I was thinking they would all meet up in a church, and then they would all realize they're dead.
And that they've been in purgatory the entire time, except you don't really know if they were. And that one guy stayed behind because why?
I swear to God, I have only seen like 3 episodes of Lost. The first 2 and then the final episode.
I watched like a 10-minute synopsis on like what the fuck the show was about. And it was just a guy describing it if it was like taking place inside of a bottle. And it made more sense than I think anybody who watched the actual show got from it.
Yeah, pretty much.
But part 9. Wait, what? Oh, never mind. Anyway.
But All right. Well, so those are both of your guys' disaster movie ideas.
Sure.
Honestly, if I was gonna pick one, I would pick Beck's.
Well, everybody loves Ben Stiller, so
I would love to see Ben
it's
Stiller
nothing
actually
personal.
do. It's like a soft sequel to Tropic Thunder.
But what if we incorporate the two ideas into one?
Well, you know what? We could
And he
too.
storms
I was just
Hogwarts
thinking that.
for the Time Turner
No,
and
no,
beats
no,
up
no, no, no,
Hermione
no, no.
for it, and then he turns
So,
back time.
no. So remember, Tropic Thunder was a movie about a movie being
Yes.
made. So what if Scorcher is a movie? It's an actual sequel to Tropic Thunder where Ben Stiller's character comes back. What is it?
Tug Speedman.
Tug Speedman. He comes back, so he's playing Tug Speedman again, but now they're filming a Scorcher sequel. And that's part of the plot of the Scorcher sequel is that they have Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Rupert Grint in it.
Oh shit, we can totally do
They're
Knock at the
like,
Cabin, because that's like a disaster movie coming out.
Oh, well, but that's
I
gonna be
know,
after.
but I'm gonna talk about it because it looks good.
Well, I do want to see it, and once we've seen it, we can talk about it for sure. But yeah, and then like it's just it could lampoon that. I mean, it's not like it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility anyway, because like Emma Watson already did This Is the End, and that's like the same group of guys that did Tropic Thunder, so it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility to get those cameos in there, and then it'd just be like a movie where they lampoon like making a disaster movie like they did making a war movie, and then on top of that you get Tom Cruise to come back as Lex Grossman or Les Grossman.
We are was it Flaming Dragon? It's like, all right, listen here, buddy.
Hey, I will give you $100 to punch that guy in the fucking face.
Literally, fuck your own face. Like, you don't have TiVo?
Like they were already talking about doing a movie about, like, actually Tom Cruise was talking about doing a Les Grossman movie.
It's literally just gonna be Uncut Gems, but Tom Cruise.
If they're willing
No,
to do
it's gonna be
something like
Mission
that,
Impossible.
I could totally see them doing a fucking Scorched. Like, I really like that idea. And then Sam's idea folds into it perfectly. So
I got you, Sam.
I like this idea a lot. But on that note, I think we're gonna wrap it up. We've been going for looks like almost an hour and 45 minutes. I did want to say, so funny enough, I uploaded the last 2 episodes of the podcast within the last like 24 hours or so on YouTube. And the volcano episode got 11 views so far. And I uploaded that one, like, I guess, afternoon yesterday. And then I uploaded the Day After Tomorrow episode pretty early this morning. And when I looked before we started streaming, the Day After Tomorrow podcast already had 59 views.
Hey.
And I was like, oh, cool. People are kind of interested on what we have to say on the Day After Tomorrow. And then I looked at the analytics, and it said that the average view time was 1 minute and 10 seconds.
What did we talk about? That was probably as long as we talked about the Day After Tomorrow, and then talked about other shit.
So the average time that people watch is like 10 minutes into the podcast, and we're talking about like the effects or some shit. Like, I'm pretty sure what happened is people were expecting a reaction video based on the thumbnail. They just saw the thumbnail from my channel and thought that's going to be a reaction video. That's my only thought. But if you're clicking on my videos and it says podcast episode, then that's where we're talking, and it's a podcast. Oh, by the way, I have a name for the podcast finally.
Oh, I forgot we were doing that.
You forgot we were doing what? Trying to name the podcast?
I just kind of like the child
I
that is
mean,
running around Fairmont. It's just nameless to me. I don't.
Well, it has been for the amount of time we've been doing it. It's been pretty much nameless, and I've been fine with that because I wanted to figure out a good name for the podcast, and I wanted to pitch this one to you guys. But I really like this one, Film Lovers Pizza.
Yeah, I like it.
That sounds like a no.
I think we should pitch our ideas off off Twitch.
Yeah, see,
Just
Jack,
for the
I'm
sake
looking at
of
the bigger
all of us.
picture, because then we can open a pizza chain.
Well,
And
my
name
only
all the
thought for
pizzas after movies.
my only thought for the name was because, like, Sam and I work in pizza. Beck, we met working in a pizza shop.
I got a pizza oven in my car.
You are a chef that makes pizzas occasionally,
Oh,
and
fuck
this is a group that enjoys pizza, and so I just thought, like meat lovers pizza, veggie lovers pizza, film lovers pizza. And then I Googled it, and it didn't come up with any results, so it's available. I don't know. It's just a name. Fuck you.
I didn't
called
say.
Film Lovers
I
Pizza.
literally said nothing.
It's called Film Lovers Pizza.
Okay, that's
the
fine.
name of the
I'm not
podcast
upset.
now. No, I'm. If nobody else likes the name, then we don't have to name it that. I like the name. I want to throw it out. But yes, if you're watching this and it says podcast episode, or if we decide on a name, as long as it says episode, then that's a podcast. If it says reaction, that's a reaction. This is just us kind of freeballing it, talking about film for an hour and a half.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall, just freeballing.
Spoiler.
It's not a spoiler. That shit's.
I got a surprise for you. All right. Well, until next week, which are we cool with doing Armageddon? Yeah. I thought I heard Sam talking shit.
No, Armageddon's a good movie.
I thought I heard you say something about it's not a disaster movie.
What?
Okay, I might have misremembered. I was getting up to grab something, and I thought I heard you say that something wasn't a disaster movie.
Oh, I think I was asking, would a zombie movie be considered a disaster movie?
Oh, no.
Why not?
No. Why not? What? I guess it would technically, but it's more of like a biological or medical disaster as opposed to like a force of nature, like an earthquake or a tornado or.
So it's biological.
Coming from.
It's natural.
It's like a different.
It's naturally occurring. Is
It's
it a natural disaster, Devin?
Fuck you! All right, I get where you're going. No, all right. It's just I would say no. That doesn't count.
Just listen to the title of the movie. Zombie ass toilet of the dead.
Zombie ass toilet of the dead.
This is a real movie.
Well, I'm Beck.
You want to hear the description?
Signing off, dude.
No, I just want to watch it. I don't want any more information. Don't tell me anymore. I just want to watch this movie.
Oh, hold on.
Based on the title alone, I will watch the movie. What is it on?
It's not on
YouTube?
much. I saw like the main thing was YouTube.
Is this Korean?
I think it's Japanese.
Japanese?
Mhm.
This makes me think of Lollipop Chainsaw.
Oh, speaking of there's a Korean show that came out on Netflix
a
while
back.
Called We Are All Dead Inside.
Damn.
Have either of you seen that?
I'll tell you what I am seeing. No, actually, I don't want to spoil this for you, Devin. I'm seeing some.
No,
I'm
I'm just
seeing some
gonna-
screenshots, and all I can think of is Cannibal Holocaust.
Oh fuck yeah! All right, let's go.
Not.
But yeah, there's a show on Netflix called We Are All Dead Inside, which is apparently a more recent Korean zombie thriller, and it looks really good. And all the people that have posted about it in the A24 group have had nothing but amazing things to say about it. And they say it's better than Squid Game, which I thought was the best Korean show I've seen.
They're gonna butcher season 2.
I'm the jury is out. I'm not sure how you make the season 2 like work, like the way they're setting it up.
Yeah.
But we'll see. But also, while I'm on the subject, I did also want to give a quick shout out. I want to talk about it at some point. We might do foreign films actually for the month of March. I did want to shout out my favorite Korean film of all time, Old Boy. Fucking great movie.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Hot.
Pretty sure it's Korean. I'm gonna look like an idiot if it's not.
Hmm.
Not gonna lie, I'm talking to a Chinese woman from Florida right now.
Wait. Okay. Never mind.
And
Fuck Florida.
I didn't realize when I matched with her that she was in Florida, but she messaged me, so I was like, "Fuck it, I'll respond." So she messaged me. She's like, "Hey, Happy New Year. How are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, Happy New Year to you. My year's been good so far. How has yours been?" And she's like, "Today is the Chinese New Year." But I thought she was talking about the New Year that we celebrated a month ago. So I was like, "Oh." So I don't know how to respond now. I guess just like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that." But
I would love to do like the original Grudge
just-
for a foreign horror movie.
felt like an asshole. You said
I'd
what?
love to do like the original Grudge for foreign horror movies.
I would want to do
For foreign movies, not just horror, but
like I said, I would like to do Old Boy and also Hausu.
okay, I would trade out that any day because I've been wanting to watch that, but I've been wanting to wait till we do it for something on here.
Hausu is so
It's
awesome.
been on my
There's
list
actually
forever.
there's a company that I bought a number of shirts from. In fact, they also did this flag, this death-proof flag. They're called Studio House Designs, and they had a release a couple days ago where they put out new screen print posters of Pearl and Hausu, and they looked awesome. And I wanted to get one, but they were like $40,
Yeesh.
and I was a little rich for my blood for something that looked amazing in the picture, but was framed, and I know would not be coming framed.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not paying $40 for an unframed thing right now.
No.
So, but
Ooh, green
I
room.
love Hausu. So I would love to do Hausu.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so next week we're gonna do Armageddon. Is that cool? Or did we want to do a different one? So Armageddon for next week, and then that will be wrapping up disaster movies, and then the next week we will be doing War of the Worlds to kick off Alien Month. So yeah, a lot to look forward to, and I'm gonna start advertising this more come Alien Month. I just want to next week in particular, and I'm going to try to work on it this week, is just getting the audio and visuals synced up a little better, because for whatever reason this shit is still coming out kind of fucked up. So want to get that figured out, but once everything gets troubleshooted, I'm going to start telling the internet, hey, we're doing this. But until then, if you're watching, thanks for just kind of stopping by, checking it out. If you've been sticking around, thanks for hanging out. I'm Devin.
Sam.
Beck.
And we will see you guys on the next stream. Next week, Tuesday, 11 p.m.
Ugh, fuck.
Peace.
Bye.